Hallo allemaal. Vandaag een nieuwe check-in. Episode 92 al. Sheesh. We gaan bijna die triple digits halen. Het is al even geleden. Ik denk al 2 weken of zo bijna. Dus we gaan er gewoon straight invliegen. Het is al redelijk laat, 10 uur. Maar ja, bon. Het is wel het is. We gaan er snel even proberen inchecken. Ik verwacht ook niet te veel mensen, dus dat is fijn. Het is ook niet echt mijn moment om eerlijk te zijn. Zien of dat we een HMD al straight zien. Was het hier? Nee, dat klopt. Week 17. Oké. We zijn toch nog geen week overgeslagen. Deze kopiëren. Chop chop. Hoe is het met een Dave? Eens kijken, hè. Hoeveel ganja hebben we nog over? Krijging. De krijg live. Dat is wel nice. Just krijging. That's all we need. Dus hier is 0,2 over. En dat was dan 1,92 min 0,2, dus 1,72. Dat is wel goed. 1,72 grammetjes. Alright, lekker. Dan sport hebben we 1 uurtje en een half gedaan, dus dat is ça va. Dat is niet de best, maar kijk. No Smoking Monday. Vorige week hebben wij gesmoked, dus dat is dan een 0. Sleep is 2 dagen maar gelukt. Mediteren hebben we 3 dagen kunnen doen. En buiten komen hebben we ook 3 dagen gedaan. Dus op zich is wel redelijk goed. Behalve het niet smoken en het sporten was dat wel een goede week. Dus de vorige keer hebben we ook oranje daarvoor dus zoiets gegeven. Ja, bon, moeten we hetzelfde doen. Hè. We kunnen niet inconsistent worden. Chronicles of Bench. Het is wel goed aan het gaan, om eerlijk te zijn. Een beetje mentaal was wekker de laatste tijd. Een beetje omdat ik te veel met de editen en zo bezig ben. Dat ik het gevoel heb dat ik niet de rest aan het doen ben. Dus waarschijnlijk een beetje rustiger doen. Meer focussen op wat ik wil uitbrengen in plaats van hoe dat ik het wil uitbrengen. Maar ja, bon, dat is altijd de eeuwige struggle, I guess. Maar op zich wel goed gewerkt de laatste weken, dus ja, veel zitten editen gewoon. Check-in. Vorige week hebben we geen check-in gedaan. We hebben ook niet gestreamd, ook geen Jonko Friday. We hebben wel financials gedaan deze maand. En geen conversation, dus deze gaan we voor de eerste keer in mijn leven denk ik rood moeten geven. I'm pretty sure. Dat is wel erg eigenlijk. Hey, merci man. Ik kan de aanmoediging wel gebruiken. Vandaag was wel een beetje... Oh shit, hier hebben we toch een rode get. Damn. Ai. Ja, ik wil het wel zeker volhouden, zo. Daar niet van. Gewoon even het gevoel dat ik geen tijd heb voor zo weer of voor echt het deftig te doen. Ik weet niet, de dag is gewoon zo snel gedaan en ik voel me daar redelijk slecht aan. Maar bon. Dat is oké. Ik kan niet altijd roze geur en maneschijn zijn, hè? We zullen even snel redden doen, gewoon omdat ik zeg dat er wat mensen gestuurd hebben. Engage with people live. Ah nee, wacht, dit gaat voor vorige week. Ja, nu heb ik terug mijn schema gewisseld. Hè. Dus nu is deze maandag van de volgende week al. Dus ja, bon. Vorige week hebben we niet Reddit gedaan. Dus dan moeten we deze ook eruit maken. Miscellaneous. We zijn wel met familie en vrienden. Vrienden ook. Max was er. Dus dat hebben we wel gedaan. We hebben geen boek geluisterd. En we hebben wel voor tweedehands dingen. Ah nee, dat was vandaag. Scheisse, dat is ook voor volgende week dan. Godverdomme. Maar dat hebben we dus wel eens gedaan voor de verandering. Er is geen weekly sidequest, want dat is goed. Een employment arc, dus heel zitten editen de laatste week. Het gevoel dat ik genoeg tijd heb voor mijn eigen story of voor de chronicles deftig te doen. Het gevoel dat dat moet ik hier misschien eens zeggen. Op zich wel nog vooruitgang gehad, maar de eerste weken. Routine is wel beter aan het worden. Ja, het gevoel dat ik niet genoeg aan het doen ben. Vooral omdat ik zelf voorstander ben van 4 dagen werken. Maar die 4 dagen lijkt niet zoveel gedaan te krijgen als ik verwacht. Beetje foute verwachtingen. En ook logisch, omdat ik heel mijn leven zelf wat meer structuur moet geven. Voelt momenteel wel even kut aan. Dat ik tekort schiet voor mijn eigen en mensen rond mij. Ook al zeggen ze dat niet. Ja, maar ik heb er ook niet zoveel zin om te diep op in te gaan, maar ja, mentaal was niet zo goed deze week. Editing is wel op zich goed gelukt, dus dat kan ik wel goed groen zetten. Ook al heeft het veel tijd ingepakt, de reacties waren wel goed en mensen zijn wel inderdaad blij met het resultaat. Dus vind ik wel leuk dat mensen het consumeren omdat ze het zelf willen en niet gewoon omdat ze mij kennen. Dus dat is wel leuk om te zien. Overal, oftewel donker oranje, oftewel rood, maar hier zit nog wel oranje bij. Rood geef ik toch niet zo snel, denk ik. Dus ja, bon, we zullen donker oranje gaan. Ja. Merci Dave. Ik hoop wel inderdaad dat mensen het ook voelen. Dus het is wel leuk om die feedback te krijgen. Gewoon nog zien. Ik denk vooral die subtitles kosten me heel veel tijd. En ik heb nu wel een programma gevonden om dat te versnellen. Maar ja, ik wil dat gewoon nog deftig doen. Ik weet niet, dus misschien ik die daar te veel op vastbind om het goed te doen. Ach ja, bon. Let's go Reddit. Niet te veel whiny zijn. Gewoon meer doen. Hey man, well received. I read this ASAP and come back to you. Okay. Slack is free to use. Yeah, I used Slack for work as well. Here's a Slack. Oh, we zullen eens even met... Create account. Cool. Okay. Okay. Toch wel een semi-grote chat. Mensen die wel wat productief willen zijn, blijkbaar. Ja, een junior miner. How are you doing, my man? We zullen wel zien of ik veel op Slack ga zitten, to be honest. Het is niet zo mijn ding, echt. Ik weet zelfs niet, kan je dat niet downloaden of zo? Slack Pro, nee. Boah ja, zie je wel. How is the Manus going? How is the Digital Nomad going? How is the LOL grind going? Manus was, to be honest, redelijk shit. Het zag er al goed uit, maar qua functionaliteit is dat niet echt zo ziek goed gewerkt. Ook die credits waren redelijk snel op, dus ik moest het al snel stoppen eigenlijk. Ik kon geen aanpassingen doen aan dat programma, aan die site. Digital Nomad heb ik nog niet zoveel voor gedaan. Ik heb eigenlijk vandaag voor het eerst een Fiverr-account aangemaakt, dus dat gaat ja pas binnen 2 weken op jullie feed komen. Waarschijnlijk ga ik daar morgen ook wel een beetje meer werk nog in steken. Ik heb nu gewoon even snel eens gekeken en een domme foto geopend. Dus dat ga ik nu nog wel een beetje moeten aanpassen. En wat was de laatste? LOL grind. Ja, ik ben niks gestegen. Ik ben eigenlijk... Ja, ik zit eigenlijk op mijn niveau. Daar komt het eigenlijk gewoon op neer. Ik ben niet beter dan ik dacht, nu dat ik meer speel. Maar ça va. Ik ben ook gewoon een beetje... Ja. Just wanted to ask you if you took that picture. When I went to Japan. Het is de eerste keer iemand ooit iets over die picture iets heeft gevraagd. Sweet, thanks, not in contact. I'm listing them out because we've realized there's not really a solid spot for someone who just using. I think we're too small of a user base right now to exclusively list jobs, but if there comes a time when we can, then yeah, we can definitely hold a premium job here to get quality people. Out of curiosity, we're doing these job listings now and we're planning to kick off an airdrop addition to the newsletter as a paid feature. From your perspective, is there something crypto specific that you feel would be a great addition to the newsletter? What do you mean an airdrop addition to the newsletter? And paid. Then you would become Oké. Alright. Ik zag de rest wel een goeie. Van die productive stoner of wat was het? Scheisse. Ah, hier. No. Ik ben de post kwijt. Bon, het was iets van... is there any functional stoners out there of zoiets? If you're struggling to quit, please don't give up. Today I cried tears of real happiness. Nope. Need help with guidance. Every time. How is the junior miner doing? What's going on in your life? Brutal feedback needed. I do not know my own work ethic. Dat snap ik wel. Building a free SaaS. How do you stop loving someone? That's wel interessant. I made peace with all the wrongs of the past and I'm still depressed. What's next? Right. Waarom kan Reddit me toch altijd een beetje aan de lach brengen? Echt unhinged people sometimes. I love it. Can't be around weed or all panic. Ja man, je moet dat niet 3 keer posten, hè. Jesus. Could use some support. Most of our stuff is just useless. Root shoppers, but yeah. Made a pain flow. I have no motivation to wake up. Been with my boyfriend for 6 years and I'm extremely severely insecure in my relationship. But yeah. Who isn't, huh? No. Just kidding. It's still worth learning any skill. So many skilled people face unemployment even with so much time put in and being extremely good at what they are doing. And what is the man change before one can learn the skill? We back. What weird or non-traditional thing do you see as a red flag? Is love real? POV, you feel sick. Request for a song, deciding to be better playlist. Fuck it, I'm going bankrupt and I'm still building. Medication, I feel so stupid. Built a Bible study app and launched on the App Store. Looking to team up with a few serious people on an online side hustle, skill sharing, local startup. Got them today, but yeah. Made this tool that turns sketch into thumbnail. Okay, show me. Okay. Seems pretty cherry-picked, but that's okay. Not sure this is the correct place where I need someone to talk to. Alright. I believe that other people... Why am I feeling like this? Why am I an awkward person who lacks confidence even though I often receive compliments? Will I regret going into nursing at community college over full... I do not care about anyone, it's so weird. Interest in Harvard and astrophysics as a high school freshman. If you want to print stuff for free, check your local library. I feel stuck. Think I am a bad person. 20-year-old guy and my wife. Damn. 21 with a wife. Need to sell my project making $4,000 a year. Okay. Seeing professional athletes make me feel better about my body. The urge to smoke can feel like being in a windowless room. Tales from outside the cave. Chapter 1 is not scared to stop just for a moment. My friend effed up big time with his racist comment and it's almost got us killed in Mexican pub cartel involved. Okay. %29% of BlackRock's bid is on Ethereum. Trust the numbers, not noise. Okay. Alright, this is the last. For the eerste, I guess then. We should make it a conscious effort to be part of a community. Been thinking about this lately. Self-improvement is great and all, but I can get really lonely sometimes if you're not careful. I think at some point you need more than just golden habits. You need people too. You need a community. Not social media friends, not followers, actual people you spend time with. It could be anything, honestly. Friends you see in real life, playing sports, volunteering, even an online group where people actually talk instead of just posting for likes. I don't think it really matters what it is, as long as you have something somewhere you feel like you belong. Feels like a lot of people, me too, try to self-improve alone and wonder why it still feels empty after a while. Lately I'm trying to be around real people more, trying to show up even when I don't feel like it, trying to just be part of something without overthinking it. I'm joining a local chess community soon. Who is joining? Is better as well. It's difficult. Let's make it a little joke. Well, it's not really a joke, but you get it. Any Nord 6861 in the self-improvement subreddit. Alright, Doomer97, find the path subreddit. Need help with guidance. 27-year, female, haven't worked for 4 to 5 months. My last job lasted 6 months. Hourly pay was $70 and no benefits. I worked as a Cairo assistant and sent out patient records. I left to overwork from constant double shifts. My highest education is high school. At 24, I went to Jobs Corps. Martial handling, CLA certificate. Okay, put you in allemaal. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a job in either field, so I was on the way to become a TSA agent in San Jose, but failed the medical exam. I live in California with my parents. I'm currently 2 classes deep in getting an associate in architecture. Just have something to my name. I have $500 in my account. I pay $1,000 rent and utilities to my parents, but since I ran out of money. I can't drive, but I'm willing to pay Uber, Lyft, so transportation isn't an issue. What do you mean by that? I can't drive, but you're willing to pay Uber, Lyft. Maybe it's an American thing, I guess. Please, any help, advice would be appreciated. I don't know, bro. We're all struggling out there. Ik ben gewoon mezelf aan het tegenspreken, maar is dat zelfs voor advies? I wouldn't recommend to get a degree just to have one. Ja, dat is wat ik wil zeggen. Might help to... Okay. Brutal feedback needed. AI summarizer for news and content. Hi, when I'm new to separate and brainstorming ideas for silence, I've pretty much zero experience building products of my own, so I'm figuring out what's the best strategy to go about it. I've come across a ton of AI summarization tools for news and media. None of them truly help me scan through the noise of YouTube videos, Twitter threads, newsletters, and so on. I like the idea of personally selecting sources and receiving a digested format. Still, I'm curious, do you use any tools to deoptimize? Maar got tips on how to validate this idea, bro. What is the idea? AI summarizer, but you said yourself there are like tons of them, so why would you make one if you said there are already tons of them? Guess that's my brutal advice. V-Fans in side project. Delicious Grand 7300 in Self subreddit. I don't know my own work ethic. Every employer I've worked for usually pumps my ego by praising my talent and hard work. My current employer has recently given me a gold award for my hard work. Now here's where I have the trouble. I often get into trouble at said employers due to allegations of laziness. Where there is smoke, there is fire. When things are going good, I end up in a dispute with upper management, co-workers, or HR over me being lazy and maybe lacking self-awareness since I can't openly find myself being lazy. I come in every day without missing days. I have often taken on tasks which alleviate the stress of co-workers. I'm also the sweatiest person in the warehouse. Yet I cannot shake these allegations everywhere I go. Today, after loading 3 trucks, I received word from management that the driver to complain about how I loaded this truck. Upon returning to the truck, I was met with questions about how I do things and allegations that I had loaded things in a typical lazy manner. I could swear I loaded the heavy stuff in the proper places, but this driver was upset. I do not understand why managers love to praise me, yet later I would run into accusations of laziness. I need to take time out and try to understand how I frequently earn this reputation in spite of me just doing the job to the best of my abilities. What do employers have to gain by praising a lazy employee? Why is that an outsider to the department is usually the one to call me out? Why does no one tell me anything? Am I truly lazy? It seems like okay, well, that's my next advice. Agitated yogurt 32-3. How do you stop loving someone? Just got broken up with today, so these emotions are pretty raw. She flat out told me there was no chance we'd ever be together again. Not because I did anything wrong, but she said she doesn't like the idea of being in a relationship anymore. What's really tearing away at me is we spoke every single day for 3 years. Every achievement, every happiness, every grief, every update. The little things like how her hair got caught in a knot and wanted me to come over and brush it out. How do you just get over someone who became a part of you? Okay, yeah, that's all I can say. Gloomy Magician 53-6. I made peace with all the wrongs of the past and I'm still depressed. What's next? About 2 months ago, I had my possible worst emotional slump of all my life. Contemplating with full honesty the plausibility of KMS for the first time. Even though I had ideation for basically my whole adolescence until now. What was ideation again? The formation of ideas or concepts. First time, even though I had... Okay. So he was been thinking about it. The rumors are true. In that moment, everything stops to feel bad or wrong. It's like you're in a true neutral state. But in my case, it was precise and perfect moment to actually contemplate my decisions. Nothing else was holding me back, disappointing or making someone sad because of it. Leaving something behind, the only thing that really mattered was to make sure my dogs and cat had a secure future. And it was relatively easy. Long story short, I decided KMS was a good idea. Actually living this life is a good idea too. If I'm not gonna solve anything in the world, at least I can try and enjoy what I have in a poetic way. The dead thrive and the life thrive were exactly the same thing for once. Fast forward to today, I'm still working on fixing my life, being responsible with work, chores, having time with my babies, hanging out, and I really enjoy it. I like to hike, to have time with my partner, friends, planning projects, but I still feel numb. I don't feel like nothing matters. Sadness, pain, or hopelessness, I think it all was an emotional response to this numbness that I still have, and so far it's been useless to try to extirpate. What is that? Extirpate. Eradicate. Okay, why just not say that? It, or even dialogue with it or integrate it in my whole self. I wonder if it's time for meds, since I've been working with therapy, working my spirituality in my own terms and pace. But I still have this emptiness to say it some way. Not even a bad emotion, just a black hole sipping every drive in my life, burning me out. Okay, that was Gloomy Magician. Horror Actuary 65. I can't be around weed or I'll panic. Male 20, bad history with mental health since a child. Went through a lot of mentally, which caused me get depression at 10, anxiety at 13. It's only gotten worse, so bad that currently I cannot leave the house without feeling panicked. And yeah, I'll save the life story, but basically I feel like I'm living a near hell experience right now. I have a horrible history. I have a horrible history with weed. I started smoking weed when I was 15. When I mixed with the wrong crowd, and I abused it to help me with my mental health. I enjoyed weed a lot until one time I had a terrible high filled with panic and paranoia. Since that day in 2020, I've had the realization it has never left. The issue is, even though I knew I didn't get along with weed anymore, I still smoked every now and then due to peer pressure. Fast forward to now, I can't even stand the smell of weed, or I'll have a full anxiety attack due to fear of getting second-hand high. And what doesn't help is that my next door neighbor smokes the shit like it's going on a fucking fashion. I hate it. Can't even sit in my own back garden because almost every time I try to, either he's smoking weed or my other neighbor 2 doors down is smoking weed. There's generally no way to live, and as I mentioned earlier, I can't effing go anywhere. I mean anywhere. I have been in mental prison so bad, to the point that I can't even visit my 11-year-old brother in hospital who was diagnosed with cancer a month ago. All because the hospital he's at is in another city. I hate myself, I hate my head, and I'm tired of it. Just want to be better. Glad you are still here, brother. Classy. Majestic Banana 3980 in Leaf subreddit. Could use some support. Hey all, super high anxiety, 25 year pothead here. I've quit and relapsed many times, usually from boredom or stress. Been married almost 4 years, marriage is rocky, little to no sex. Wife never initiates or shows interest anymore. Been in couples counseling and independent therapy hasn't helped much. We had a blow up on the weekend when I heard her talking to someone about me on the phone. She was saying all manner of horrible things and I'm incredibly hurt by it. She's staying in a hotel now while we have time to process everything. I think it's time to quit smoking weed. I hope it will help me feel again and get out of my rut. Anyone have anything kind of supportive to say? I could really use it. Need some time till you're back on track, but as far as I know from myself, stoner guys who also very early initiate sex. Sure, I guess so. Most of our stuff is just useless crap. I'm looking around my living room right now at the plastic disposable crap my 6-year-old and the hundreds of records I own. They both bring us joy. Over 95% of this stuff will be donated, given away, tossed out. He doesn't yet understand the concept that most stuff just brings us fleeting bursts of dopamine. Now some will say that my record albums are a waste of money. To me they're an asset. I can have the experience of enjoyment again and again. I can enjoy them now, and if I don't want them anymore I can sell them. Yes, his toys will bring him continued enjoyment until the next shiny thing catches his eyes. I'm as a parent at 5-6 ages prime time for accumulating stupid crap toys. Every trip to Walgreens is an opportunity to get a little something. My kids are a little older now and it has helped to engage them a long way in cleaning out their rooms and purging that kind of stuff. While you're doing it, you can kindly, gently say stuff like, "Oh, remember when it was so important to you that you got XYZ?" Okay. I don't know what the discussion is about, but anteater existing. In the productivity subreddit. I have no motivation to wake up. 16-year-old male. Everything is the same. I've lived in the same house my entire life. My dad is a jerk and he forced me to do Boy Scout sports. I want to be a lifeguard, being it's one of the few things I think about accomplishing. However, I failed my lifeguard course the first time and I'm scared about the new class I'm taking soon. It's really the only way to make money too. I have friends, but I only see them in my first period and I want to do stuff with them, but they have very busy lives. I hate my home. Every time I go out, I see same stuff. I don't know what to do. Interim job as lifeguard in, how do you say Battlend? Is love real? Trying to find love is so difficult. It's just when I treat my body right, it just becomes love. Ha ha ha. No need to find it, just treat your body and mind how it needs to be treated, and your love won't be tied down doing it. Just see it here and enjoy life. Haha, I mean for sex. Ah, boeien. Kunt jezelf van jezelf houden, er is niks mis mee. Muted Sock 7441 Mental Health subreddit. Not sure if this is the correct place, but I need someone to talk to. I've been going through a breakup and a heartache for the last couple of months. When I try to talk to my friends, they all shut me down and tell me it's going to be okay. But during these last 2 weeks, something happened and it's been driving me insane to someone to... Well, zo was zien als die antwoord. I did not care about anyone and so weird. As long as I could remember, I only cared about others, never myself. In the last few years, I stopped caring about others. Anything, I stopped caring about things that did not directly affect me. I cannot bring myself to even care about my friends. I only kind of pretend to care, so I have someone to hang out with or when I need information. But I actually never really care. I only care about when it's about me. I keep friendships up and don't act cold. So my reputation isn't ruined, because in social circles I'm always known as this caring, warm-hearted person when I don't give a fuck. I only care about animals, honestly. I don't know if I want to improve or not, but let's see what this post will bring. Good for you. Pumpkin Inevitable Self-Improvement subreddit. I feel stuck. Male 21. What I need to do first to improve. I'm searching for a net therapist at the moment, trying to get into healthy habits and get rid of bad habits. The main one is me talking more and being more proactive in my relationships about how I'm feeling, because I have a tendency to repress those things and not speak about how I feel until it boils over. However, I have no idea what to do as my self-confidence is at an all-time low. Having mental illnesses adds onto this feeling of not knowing what to do, because I cannot build a schedule around improvement. It hurts because I want to get better for my friends and my partner, but for me especially. I want to ask for suggestions specifically from people with mental illness that are working towards themselves and how they find the time to work on it without feeling overwhelmed. Okay, last one. Gaan langer zijn. No Candy 4554 in the self-improvement. Tales from Outside the Cave, chapter 1. It's not that scary to stop just for a moment. Feel the flow, ever get that fear. Right, we're watching a video about how AI is going to take all the jobs, the stinging, what am I gonna be worth after that? You're not alone, you're not wrong. You're just running on all software called survival of the fittest. In a world for many of us has no actual lines, no cliffs, no immediate salvation at the doorstep, so your brain makes up new ones. Maybe you actually believe the lie the software tells you. If you stop, you die, keep running. But here's a question: have you ever really tried stopping, and if so, did you die? Now, the real reason why the software is so ingrained in all of us, and I'm not gonna get a lot of likes by saying this, it's not just to make billionaires richer. It's not just capitalism. It's not even your neighbor Joe who looks at you funny if you spend all night playing Elden Ring. No, the real reason why this fear exists is primal. It's the engine of human progress, the drive that made us hunt or be hunted, that made us get rid of actual lions and wolves, build shelters, cure illnesses, and even create whatever weird AI replica thing is. The real reason is because we needed motivation to do anything beyond surviving the next 5 minutes. But you start to get where I'm going, right? If this drive fueled progress, then if we stop now, how can we continue improving? How can we solve world hunger, climate change? How can I prove to my neighbor Joe that I'm not a lazy slob? The real answer, my friend, who told you have to? Who says you personally have to carry the weight of all future progress fueled by the same old panic? Who says your worth is tied to solving climate change by Tuesday or even impressing Joe? Here's the crux of what I'm rambling about. A real magical thing happens when you stop listening to so intently to the primal fear, when you stop letting it dictate every single move, your body, your mind, your creativity, the people around you. Everything starts to just fall into place, not into perfect, rigid order like some machine blueprint. No, it falls into a real place, human, messy. You might find yourself arguing with this postman over a missed package 1 minute, and then hugging him, maybe even crying the next because you suddenly see him, just another soul like you, effing living this weird thing we call life and dealing with it however he can. That connection, that messy, authentic reality, that's a taste of what's outside the cave. The software might have been essential once, but now it's just loud background noise. You don't have to upgrade it. You don't even have to smash the machine. You can just turn down the volume. You can choose when or if you listen. You can sit there letting the software scream worthless, lazy, underserving in the background and still be breathing, and maybe, just maybe, in that quieter space you start noticing what's actually real. You start seeing the postman, your neighbor, or your cat. You start seeing yourself. You just are. Sometimes it's more than enough. It might be everything. The fear, my friend, can only work if you believe in it. So maybe next time you're on the verge of a burnout because of a deadline, maybe you'll think about this essay and try asking yourself, what happens if I stop just for this moment? That's the good. Alright, that was it for today, boys. Even zien wat mensen gereageerd hebben. Certificates you would recommend to get a community college. Oké. Ik denk dat het dat was voor vandaag, boys. Tijd om af te sluiten. 8 days left in trial. Your team is on a free trial. Oh, we gaan moeten payen affen. Oké. Goedenavond allemaal toegewenst. See you guys in the next video, tomorrow, 5 o'clock. there will be a new one, hopefully. Right, peace.